All it takes is a couple of proper buttons and everything falls over.
Or lack of buttons.
Short fuses and whatnot.
Short fuses.
The music isn't in the right place because of Windows!
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Hi, welcome to the HarHar podcast.
Oh my god, he said that live.
Yeah. F it, we'll do it live. I think that was a name of a talk that I went to.
I feel like
I yelled so hard the count or oh my god.
Heartburn from screaming.
I somehow yelled so hard that I didn't the food I ate was still kind of going down, and then it stopped and went retreat.
Yeah, because your diaphragm literally ruptured, probably. Just like.
Hi, I'm your host, Dorky Dev. I'm joined by Caver J and Tree Cups. Now on Tuesdays.
Yeah, the boring day of the week.
I don't know. In another way, you can kind of look at this as it's kind of like you make it to today. It's like bragging rights because you survived Monday.
It's kind of true.
This Monday was a super Monday for me, by the way. It was the most Monday I've had in a while.
That was Monday.
Well, because I have Mondays that are just normal days, right? Most of my Mondays do not become a Monday, like what people would consider a Monday, right?
Yeah.
Because there's the definition that the Monday is the hardest day kind of thing. It's man, this is a Monday. This Monday was this is a Monday. I haven't had one of those in a while. I don't know why it happened.
So I'm curious, before you continue on with your story, do you have a day of the week that is that would be like a Monday for
No, not really. Person? Usually every day is roughly similar. It's not for me, I don't have a lot of days that are awful at work. That would be consistently the same day. That's how I would put it. See,
well, because what's funny is my wife, which is still weird to say out loud, just as a note.
My wife.
Ever since I met her, she's like, "Ugh, Tuesdays are my Monday," and I never understood that until I was in a relationship with her, and then I started having really shitty Tuesdays. I was like, "Wait a minute,
it's contagious, dude.
This shit's contagious." Yeah, I was like, "Wait, what?" But continue. I want to know the details of why your Monday was a Monday.
Oh, it's just everything that could happen kind of thing. I just could not. I couldn't get things functioning the way I needed it to yesterday. Nothing really went wrong. It was just little things that just slowed me down throughout the day.
Right.
And similar thing today too. Similar thing where it's just I couldn't get the momentum to get my day all the way done how far I'd want it to be. Because it's just certain things would just pop up. I'd get called somewhere else, stuff like that, and it's just I just want to get these done. That's what my goal is. I want these done. I keep getting pulled away. Let me finish these things.
I get that.
Which is why coming back here, trying to set up for the podcast after running late, and then realizing, oh yeah, there was a Windows fucking update.
So wait, are you talking about yesterday, or are you talking about today was your Monday?
No, today was a continuation of it.
Today's a continuation of a Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Monday part 2 was today.
I'm sitting here talking about how Tuesdays you can survive Monday, and Dev's like, nope, I have a 48-hour Monday this week.
I mean, you guys completely skipped what I was going to talk about, because I wanted to say that I'm excited that the show's on Tuesdays now, because now we can talk about our weekends.
Yeah, dude, I was actually thinking about that. That's super convenient for me, because the whole reason I couldn't make half the freaking HarHar shows is because I have to do shit on weekends usually.
So yeah, now you can
stuff
tell
on your
us.
weekends.
I did this weekend, but normally I don't. But this weekend I did.
What did you do?
Actually, clean thing. It was strange.
You were being an adult? What?
Yeah.
Are we gonna count that?
Huh?
I mean, we can count that, but I'm just gonna.
No, I mean, yeah. It was
I
weird.
thought you went and actually did something.
No, there's more. Let me
Okay.
Saturday and I'll be completely honest. Ever since last Thursday, I had this extreme urge to want to play minecart. Minecraft, Mario Kart. No, Minecraft. I don't know what it was, but I was like, I just want to play a mindless game where I can't do anything. But then Thursday things happened and I couldn't do it. And then Friday I was busy because of work. I didn't get home until like 9 o'clock that night because I was working in San Francisco area. So it was difficult. And then Saturday I wake up and I was like, okay, I either have one of two options. I can get all of my chores done that I need to get done right away, or I can procrastinate and play Minecraft. And so instead I had a paradigm shift and I did all of my chores, which was cleaning my room, cleaning my bathroom, cleaning out my car. I went grocery shopping. I dropped off mail. I like packed up for work. Like I went to work and prepared my vehicle for the next day of work. And like, I just felt oddly productive. The only thing that I haven't done that I wanted to do was make banana bread. I haven't made my banana bread yet. So that's probably going to be what happens after this podcast is I'm going to bake up a couple loaves of banana bread.
Legit.
Yeah.
I went caving this weekend.
That's really cool. That's
Yep.
Nice.
That's out of
So
character.
I wonder. Nah, yeah, right. Right. So I wonder. So it'll go. Will it go separate? Because I do have pictures. I could show pictures.
It will go
Well,
separate. We would
but
need
we
a
wouldn't
pour.
be able to see it.
No.
Mm.
Damn. Oh well. I have pictures. I'll show you guys later though.
One of these days we need to set up a setup where we can do a streamer, like a streaming cam.
One of these days we need to do a lot of shit.
I mean, and that's part of the reason we're now on Tuesdays, so
really.
we can do more shit.
Yeah, went caving. Went to this huge cave that I've been to a couple times prior, but it was my most satisfying bit of caving I've done in there. Because normally like the cave is like huge, and so normally all the trips we take in there it's like majority walking, and then we crawl and climb around a bit. But this past trip like we did like a lot of crawling, a lot of climbing, a lot of going through canyon passage. We were underground for about 4.5 hours by the time it was all said and done.
I have a random question that I just thought of.
Relating to caving or just in general?
Caving, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yes and no, but so I always remember it's a stretch question, you know, like my weird mind got to this point. Because I remember
this will be great.
Yeah, because I've gone on a couple of different field trips and things into different caves and gone on different tours, be it like river, like lava tubes, or the Grand Canyon caverns.
I went on Grand Canyon caverns before.
Yeah, and there's one other like another pair of caves that I've been in, and every single one, the tour guide has always said, "Don't touch the walls because your skin, your oils ruin it." How does that work when you have to like crawl in things?
Well, so here's the deal. Is in show caves where those caves in particular are so heavily commercialized, the mass buildup of oils, if there was people after people after people were touching them constantly, the oils would build up, and the process by which the formations grow is mostly done by carried by water, and water and oil don't mix, and so that's what repels it.
I have seen something that.
So, and that's the dumbed down explanation of this. But so when you're going into the places that I go with my friends, is like there's not a whole lot of traffic. Like if we see intact formations, stalactites, glowstone, whatever, yeah, we do our best to not touch it at all. But like touching the walls or the ceiling or whichever, if there's nothing really there, you know, you're really not. At least from how it's always been explained to me, and this is both from like old school with it's just, and that's the other thing too. It's like places where we're headed, like our routes, like it's rock, mud, like all the water has already drifted over to where it's already growing formations, and those are just the things we avoid.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks for answering my random question.
Yeah, no problem.
Makes sense.
I like talking about this stuff in case you hadn't noticed.
I mean, it's
not like
almost
it's
like
your
it's your brand.
I barely have a brand anymore. Like I'm just here with you guys now. My brand is more or less my rep among this group now. Like yeah.
What is your rep among this group?
The drunk guy.
Okay, cool.
Is
Who
it?
caves? Yeah, you flat out like
So yeah, Jay's the drunk
So,
guy who caves. Dev is
the
the drunk guy who
stats-
gets angry.
this was about a year ago, and it was brought up during. It was like within the first 20
Not using
minutes
that
of
as
one.
evidence, but fuck you.
It was within the first 20 minutes of one of these podcasts, and I think it was Dev who pointed out that I have been drunk on this podcast more than I had been sober at that time.
But the times have changed. Like us on Tuesdays.
I'd say we're about an even.
Are we
50,
really gonna
50,
hammer? We're really gonna hammer
I
this
am.
home.
I'm going to hammer that to the ground.
Jesus.
Be prepared.
But yeah, I don't know what. I don't know what else my rep among this group would be. Like kind of a
A
jack
good
of
friend.
a good friend. I'll take it.
Yes. Speaking of, I need to talk to one of our friends of the channel here.
Oh?
Yeah.
Are they here?
No.
Hmm.
At least not that I know of. If you go on Twitter, I'm sure you'll find who I'm talking about. I don't want to drop names. But if you have friends out there, you should talk to them. See if they're okay.
Oh.
Maybe if they're family, like sons. You know?
Oh.
It's going to be my plan here. That should have given enough hints.
I talk to him every day.
I'm probably going to ask him if anything's like, apparently something's wrong has happened to him. So I want to see what's up. But I haven't done that yet. So check on your friends.
Yeah, I mean that's normal advice for anybody.
Make sure that they're okay in this rough time.
You know, and try to talk your friends out of stupid shit. You know, I got several
Maybe.
examples of that in life right now. I'll only go into details on one of them, but one is currently unemployed, and he decided now would be a good time to buy a pet.
Oh yeah, no, that's stupid.
You're kidding.
Oh no, he bought a snake too. Her name is Nala.
Well, all right, good for him.
Yeah,
At least
you all know this, friend, too. It's probably not going to be. It's not the first one that'll pop into your head, more than likely. But
I know which one it is.
you've met him. Have you seen? If you've got him on Facebook, I know you've seen pictures of the damn snake.
Oh, I gotta look. I think I know who you're talking about.
No, because I believe I've seen it somewhere.
I mean, he's
Somewhere
he,
else,
he
but
has,
I've seen it.
He shared it. He's very proud of it. He's very proud of it. And what's great is like, you know, normally our little friends group over here, like, we embrace each other's real weirdness, but this is like one of these times where everybody else is literally like, no, like don't take this thing out while we're around. Like, don't you fucking dare.
I mean, I love snakes. Oddly
I
enough,
have the biggest problem with them. I mess with them all the time when I had to work at the park, but I would never have one as a pet. I would never have one as a pet.
well, I kind of had one as a pet once. Like,
Kinda.
I had someone else's pet snake living in my house because they couldn't have it in their house. So kind of was my pet snake. Yeah.
Kinda was your pet snake. Okay.
But yeah, like I don't mind them much. I've even like the snake at the time was a 5-foot long boa constrictor, and I was maybe 8 years old.
That.
It was cool.
Fuck
I held the thing and everything. I was like, "Ooh, look at this guy!"
8 years old, 5 feet. So was this thing longer than you were tall at the
Yes.
time? Oh my god.
And I held it. It was heavy.
No. And I know I just said I don't have the biggest problem with snakes. Okay, maybe that's not 100% true.
Mhm.
Like if they're within a reasonable size margin, then I don't have a problem with snakes.
Mhm.
And of course, if I see them, then I don't have a problem with snakes. But yeah, no,
No, I understand.
no. I learned about a couple of these there's a huge constrictor species that does not need a mate to reproduce.
I guess that is kind of nightmare fuel.
Yeah. We started reading about this thing. I forget the species name, but it's essentially like it's multiple types that do it.
snakes?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Dude.
Multiple types that do it. It's like this particular species is at the zoo that we like visiting. And we started reading it, and the particular snake that we saw on display was, I believe, the offspring of one. I think the mom was there too. Star will correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, the snakes were damn huge.
So
Like,
I think you're
and
talking
it doesn't need help to multiply. Like, let's just appreciate that.
Is it one of those ones where like it starts out as a male and then turns to female, and then because it does that, it gives its own birth? Some reptiles, like some animals, do that.
I don't believe so. I think it stayed female. It just had the ability to fertilize its own eggs. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and it's the thing is like, and the way that Star just said it in chat, like, just decided, like, apparently it's just a biological switch they can flip.
Oh, so it's cloning itself.
Like, that is astonishing. What's up, Frankie?
Oh, it just makes me think of that, like, philosophy question where it's like, oh, gray goo. The weapon gray goo. Or Futurama makes fun of it with Bender, who can duplicate himself in half into two smaller half versions of him.
Yeah, no, these were
Futurama.
These were not the offspring was not a half version. Like, it was slightly smaller than mom, but that's just because it had catching up to do. That was it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, science is weird, bro.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
reticulated python.
Ooh. Like, don't get me wrong, I like snakes, and I've like helped get some snakes out of places before, like average garden variety garden snakes. You know, like I would not be afraid to reach out and grab because they're not poisonous. But
Right.
And they're tiny and they're adorable and they like wiggle. But like other snakes, like I'll definitely stay away from, you know, poisonous snakes.
Yeah. You know, like
I've been
for you all, you hear a rattle, you're not going anywhere near it.
No, yeah, I've definitely been on hiking trips where rattlesnakes have lunged at me, and I've been just
Really?
far enough away. Yeah.
Wow.
I remember one specifically. It was 4th of July. It was the first time I wasn't doing 4th of July with my family because my mom was out working, and so I was with friends, and we decided to go climbing the nearby mountain range. And on the way down at night when it was dark, we hear the rattle, and we look over, and then there's just and I'm like, oh, time to leave. Gotta go.
Was it a Mojave?
Yeah, I think so. It was not the Wallapai.
No, I'm saying, was it a Mojave?
Oh, a Mojave Rattler?
Yeah, a Mojave Green.
I can't remember, honestly.
Dude,
I just remember the sound and seeing the snake and then leaving.
Because where we live
Like,
actually had a deadlier snake in Arizona than the Diamondback.
Oh,
Mojave
what
Green.
a lovely track. Let me double check. Let me see if that jogs any memories.
I remember one time I had to move a copperhead from a crowded area. So copperhead is Kentucky's resident venomous snake. I guess that fucking thing's everywhere. No one's died from a copperhead bite in over 100 years, but you know, later and later generations keep getting dumber. So I mean, this streak's about to be broken. I mean, it'll happen in the next 10 years.
I feel
Had
like
a student get bit by one. You did. I remember that.
I think we need to like come up with a new term, because there's book smart and street smart, and the younger they get, they're neither of those. Like it's weird because they can have the entire galaxy in their phone and they'll be like, I have the answer, but until they have the answer, they don't know anything.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily
I
say
don't
that,
get it.
man.
Oh.
I think this next generation Probably will
I'm
do better
waiting
than
for a
us.
punchline.
Oh, well, I mean, I know a lot of people like Gen Zs, the one after
Yeah.
us, Zillennials, whatever, because they're very quippy and very smart ass on the social media.
Well, that's because, like, honestly, if you've seen the state of affairs, would you give a shit anymore?
Oh, I want to argue against that, but I can't. But I can't.
I mean,
I'll be honest, I can't tell if it was a Mojave Green or not.
like, the thing about it is, like, for the next generation, because my brother is Z, and they're quippy, but they're quippy because, like, that's all they've got left. Like, if you look at it, global warming is insane and not being taken care of. So who knows how long the world will function the way it needs to be survivable in terms. Our government is trying to prevent people from voting. So there's that, and a wannabe fascist in office. There's the fact that economically, if nothing changes, they're fucked more than we were. And we got pretty fucked. Because we've already lived through 3, like,
at least 2
recessions. No, the dot-com boom, 08, 2020. We've already lived through 3.
Eh.
And they leached off of our minds the entire time. Like, I can't argue with their mentality sometimes, because it's just like, you know, if I had the world at my fingertips to understand the state of things, and could understand the state of things, and realize how fucked it is, and that the people who can change it aren't, I'd be a little pissed off and probably snarky and not giving a shit about anything. I got a little real there. I'm sorry, but it is just the case. Like, not to fully defend Gen Z, but I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, that's the thing. He is right. I mean, that's the thing. You can't really.
You're not wrong.
And that's why I drink.
That's why millennials are known as alcoholics, because that's how we solve things. We drink.
No, millennials are known as people who complain about everything and like avocado toast.
Talking to Gen Z, okay. We're known as alcoholics who
know everything about a Harry Potter house, but nothing about politics.
Well, no, we know plenty about politics. It's just we don't do anything. We don't necessarily don't do anything. It's just that we aren't in a place where we can do enough, and we're kind of we're self-defeated. You've got baby boomers who, for the most part, are all most entirely a generation of, well, in my day.
Back in my day.
Well, back in my day, a job at the grocery store used to pay my college and house and everything. It should for you too.
2 fucking kids.
Yeah.
It should be fine for you, kiddo.
Yeah,
sure.
Like
Sorry.
I'm very, very happy that the people around me growing up were not that dumb, because I know people that are. Like, I know people that, yeah, why don't you just work here? It'll be fine. And I'm like, yeah, if I want to stay in this shithole town, then yeah, that's a great plan. But,
Yeah.
I remember I had a conversation with one of my relatives. This is years ago.
Mhm.
It's like, why don't you go work at Toyota? Just a fucking factory job. And I looked right at him and I said, because I don't want to hate my life.
Wise choice.
Yeah, he didn't like that answer too well.
Like
I don't think he remembers this conversation, but I definitely do.
he blanked it out of his memory because he hates his life.
What's really funny is that he's like branching out to potential other jobs now, you know, like 10, 12 years later.
He's tired of hating his life. Sorry. I remember, like, I still talk to the occasional friend of from where I grew up and where me and Dev grew up, and it's so strange because I can think of I think of the friends who went to college, I think of the friends who left that town, and then I think of the people who are still in that town, and the people who are still in that town are just miserable.
Yeah, man.
I don't know why they do that to themselves.
Dude, some of them.
Well, it's because there's also the promise that the town will improve. That town especially has always had that, well, it'll be better next year because we're improving the infrastructure, we're getting more housing, and the schools are improving.
My old hometown don't even bother to lie anymore. I've heard nothing of improvements.
I mean, I think
and there won't be, man. Like, a few other businesses have tried to move into the area, and they just felt one of them. This is how, like, close-minded people from my old area are, or could be. Was a tattoo parlor tried to open shop. You know, which why wouldn't you? Rent is dirt fucking cheap. You know. And
who doesn't like tattoos? Oh wait.
They literally like got protested on. Like, no shit. Like, people just kept shit talking, and finally they just like, dude, we're sick of it. Like, we're getting out of here. Which really sucked for a few friends of mine because they were clients. And it's like, dude, like, they're great artists. Like, I've seen their work. Like, they're super fantastic artists.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it wasn't from a parlor that was local. Like, wasn't from that parlor. I can tell you that much.
I don't know, dude. Like, small towns suck.
Yep.
Like, just I don't get it. Like, I know people say like, oh, but those big city folk just, you know, they don't get how it really is. I've lived in two extremely small towns. I lived in Fortuna, California. And Stephen, you're around there, right?
Fortuna, not too far, yeah.
Small ass town back when I lived in it.
How far am I from Fortuna?
Probably an hour and a half, I'd say, because you're not gonna deal with a lot of traffic going that way.
California maps.
Oh, I know exactly what you're pointing out.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what they do. Protesting tattoos with their tattoos.
I'm actually about 4 hours from Fortuna.
I always forget how big California really is.
Mm-hmm.
Did I really live that far north?
Yep.
Was I that close to Oregon?
You were, let's see, you were very close to Eureka.
Yeah.
And I think you're actually closer to Medford than you are my house. Let me double check.
Weird.
Medford, Oregon.
Oh, you told me about this person. Oh, I
actually no, they're about the same distance.
Oh.
I cringe.
Yeah, no, California's huge. But like for me, like I've lived in the small towns, man. I get it. But that doesn't mean that it's better.
That is not the that's the thing. It's like between having had more of a taste of bigger city life, and I don't even live in the city. I live just close enough. It's like what was I mean, don't get me wrong, like there are crappy parts wherever you go.
Yes.
Like, just cities are just more known it seems like, for their crappy parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's like where I live now, there is a section of this place where I will not go. I will not. And it's because that is, It's like, what about that shadowy place, Dad? It's like, I should never go there. Like that.
Well, and
But,
that's
you know,
another, like, and that's
back
one of
home.
the things about cities that I've always had a problem with, though, is that like there needs to be infrastructural change, and maybe part of the problem is the gerrymandering of the market of the cities.
We need to
themselves.
stop getting political, or else we'll never get blue on this show.
Listen, I can't help it.
I think you
It's just
better
who
start,
I am
man.
now.
No, I understand. I every time we talk about something, I'm like, oh, I heard about that in the news the other day.
Well, no, it's just like because of me now. Like the last 4 years, I have grossly increased my political knowledge. Not that I wasn't illiterate in politics. I really enjoyed politics, learning and stuff like that. But after high school, it wasn't something I worried about because it wasn't part of my day to day. And then the last 4 years, it needed to be my day to day because, let's be honest, our lives are in the balance in the day to day nowadays. So it just kind of became something that is now grossly entwined with who I am. And I'm not disappointed that I actually kind of like being much more knowledgeable about politics now. Because, I get how not that I didn't get how the system works, but now I see how the system works and how it doesn't actually work. I guess is the way I'd put it.
Right.
Because now I see things in the way that I'm like, oh, so this was broken from the get-go, and we just never hit something that would actually break it. It just happened to be working this entire time.
Working is also, never mind.
No, that's
Never
a fair
mind.
point. Working is a loose term.
Never mind. No, I don't need to be adding to this anymore.
It's too late. You already did. Welcome.
I don't want to be here. There is a definition of politics that I thoroughly enjoy, and that is, it embodies what I think of politics in general. And it is from a comedian that I really like. Is old ventriloquist, actually, called Taylor Mason. And he had his puppet Romeo out. Romeo's like, yeah, I know politics. You know politics. Yeah, I know politics. All right, well, what is politics? Okay, politics. It comes in 2 words. Okay, poly, which means many, yeah, and ticks, which are blood-sucking leeches.
You're not wrong.
Love it. Love it. I want more of it.
Fair. I don't know, man. It's just like you grow up with the idea of how things are supposed to go.
Yeah, and then you realize you were lied to.
Well, especially after we became adults. Like, I'm pretty sure when the people who told us how things were supposed to go grew up, that's how things went.
Yeah.
But then we grew up, and then we dealt with it. We're like, this is wrong.
That's not how that went.
That is
That's not how this works.
You know, which really kind of sucks is that means the future generation that we basically tell them how it went for us, they're just gonna have no hope for their future.
I mean, I would hope that my child would be inspired by the fact that I still got a college degree, even though I was homeless at one point.
That's true.
You shouldn't have to be homeless to get a college degree.
I agree with you. But I think hopefully by that point, they won't have the possibility of being homeless.
Move out of country. Honestly, Stephen, you have that option. You have a degree.
And film, I could go to Bollywood.
Why not, dude? Or go to the UK.
What the hell is Bollywood?
India.
You've got some Googling to do. Yeah. India, Hollywood, but it's very ridiculous.
It's super entertaining, though.
Yes, I love it.
It's off the wall, some of the shit that they come up with. I'm like, dude, this is awesome. There's their version of the Terminator is so off the walls, insane. It's awesome.
You should look up on YouTube a channel called Corridor Digital.
I knew you were
and
going
a series called VFX Artists React to Bollywood. and they have at least 4 episodes of them reacting to some of the most famous Bollywood movies of the modern era.
I know who Corridor is, and I know that and I know that show that they do because
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoy watching crap like that.
So yeah, and
I'm
then-
astounded at my own amateur to average level, some advanced level Photoshop skills, you know, and then I see animators and VFX artists, and I'm just like, damn, like I am obsessed with watching crap like that.
They're great. Some like every time I edit a video for Dev, I'm like, oh, I could throw in this animation where I can make the words move, or I could do this, or I could do that. And then as soon as I start doing it, I'm like, what have I gotten myself into?
Yeah, then you realize your eyes are way bigger than your stomach kind of situation, and it's just like, oh Lord, have mercy.
Like part of me,
What have I done?
Yeah, part of me wants to. I did it once for the Ariana Plays birthday, where I animated words as they were talked about. Like when Frankie was talking, because Dev's mixing was a little off during that stream, I have to put up what Frankie was saying. I'm not blaming you. It happens with everybody. So I had to throw up what Frankie was saying in words, and then I animated those words sometimes, and it was not hard work, but it was a lot of very tedious work.
Fair.
And then I haven't really done it since because I don't want to do that again. It's not hard, it's just tedious. That's what a lot of animation is, at least in my experience. It's just very tedious.
Not hard, but tedious. Photoshop is the same way. I will agree with that. Photoshop is like, especially, oh my God. That's the one part about my little side thing that I'm going to be doing that I really am honestly terrified of is because I'll offer photo restoration. And oh my Lord. Like, so I have two practice ones that I'm doing right now. I showed you the one before we started. I did another one. And there's just all these little nicks and holes in the scan photo, and I'm going through and I'm like filling all these other ones, and you have to do it like one little thing at a time because you don't want everything to blur and look fake. You know, it's got to look naturally filled in, and it's just even just with that, just with little tiny stuff like that literally is just a click or a tap, whatever. But you do it 100 times later, and you're just like, when will it end?
Dude, I've started lately experimenting with at least in Premiere, the temporal movement. Like if you right click on a keyframe, you could change how it moves from a linear to like a fading kind of movement, so it looks more fluid. And I've learned, at least with my setup, however the heck I keep doing it, that I can't do multiple like smooth animations in a row, because then it'll start to do what's called a Bezier, I believe, Bezier, where instead of just going from this animation to this animation to this animation, it'll do this thing where it like starts to warp and like go in random paths. And like, even though I didn't program it to do that, it'll start doing it.
Does it?
Yeah, and then when I try to get rid of it, it doesn't fix it. Like I get rid of all the movement to be just straight lines again, but then suddenly there's all these random paths in there, and I'm like, what?
Weird. It's kind of reminds me. I did Adobe Flash back in the day, and it's like if you did a transformation where like one shape turns into this shape, if you don't like actually specify the frame that the final shape is supposed to be in, that it'll like it used to do this like really weird thing. Like you had to be very specific, like this in this frame gonna turn into this in this frame, and then in between is here's how the transformation is gonna go. And if you didn't like do that, then it just like either would disappear entirely or do something that is not what you wanted. Just, I don't even remember adding the shape here. How did it get here? So kind of a segue from photoshopping and like content creating kind of stuff. Cyberpunk 2077 development went into crunch, and the guys said that they wouldn't.
It's making me. I have such an internal debate of I really want to play this game, but like I don't know, man. Like, it feels like a moral dilemma now.
What, because of crunch?
Because they said they wouldn't. They delayed it because they wouldn't.
Well, they said they delayed it because they wouldn't, but also, like, so here's why I'm very conflicted on whether or not I should be mad at them for it, is because, you know, the initial development cycle when COVID quarantine hit, they did publicly state that, you know, there was a lot of adjustments needing to be made, but that it was still on schedule. That last bit was probably very optimistic wishful thinking. Now we know it was optimistic wishful thinking because you wouldn't have needed crunch otherwise. So I don't know, man. It's just one of these things that, yeah, this guy, the guy who wrote the initial article that I read on it, he posted it to Twitter, and then someone tweeted at him and was like, "How is this news?" You know. And he re-quoted the article that he was quoting in his, saying that they would never go into, and a lot of other people, you know, it's this almost 50-50 split of one side is, well, yeah, but COVID didn't happen last year either. And then the other side is, you know, unfortunately, this is just what the industry has come to, and all this other stuff. And being the devil's advocate, I can see that COVID would have potentially like affected them in such a way that's like, we tried to avoid this, you know, but we just can't.
Well,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was about to say, I see both sides, because like, not everybody can be a game developer from home, because not everybody can bring their work computer home with them.
Right. Don't have the gear, and if you don't have the internet, then it's just, you know.
Mm-hmm. So like, I could see the problems. Like, they could have had less developers. They just need more time to do it. But at the same time, I also see the crunch being not a good thing. And I think of constant arguments that people have where like, there's this whole debate online about like self-care and mindfulness, where you're burning yourself out because of work, because they just say, keep working. If you don't work, you don't make money. So keep doing whatever I tell you. And it's just what the U.S. has become. Well, this is to the Poland. Point where
I was about to say, like,
they're in Poland, which
Poland is also that as well. But like, and the only reason I'm not super mad is because they're at least getting paid for the extra hours. But that's only because Poland legally requires it.
Like, that's the only reason why they're getting paid for the extra hours. Which
if they were salary workers in the U.S., it wouldn't be the same story.
Like, the other thing too about it is like, with crunch, the problem with it too is sometimes you end up making the game take longer because you're crunching. Because people are tired, they're worn out, they're gonna make mistakes, and you're gonna have errors.
Yep.
That's how you get Assassin's Creed Unity issues.
I thought most of those bugs were because those were pre-release hacks that people stole.
No, that's what the game came out with.
The Assassin's Creed Unity bugs happened on day one of the official release to the public, and there were articles. I think this game to this day is used as like a subject study of basically, this is how you don't release a product. Like this is because, I mean, there have been many games, that have come out and have had bugs, have had errors, and all this stuff, right? Like, the drama of that is not unique to Assassin's Creed Unity. What was unique to Assassin's Creed Unity at the time was the word inexcusable was used, like, for it.
The fact the character didn't render its head, but still had the eyes and mouth, is a problem. And it wasn't just one person got it. A lot of people got that bug. Most people got that bug.
Yeah. Another unexcusable thing for just this one more of laziness and no attention to detail was the Andromeda facial animations. Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, don't even get me started, bro.
I don't want to get started on that. I don't even really.
That is a can of worms, because like, my problem with Andromeda, on top of that was that it felt like going back to 1.
I didn't much mind that.
After 2,
Like,
though,
going through the doing the all-terrain exploring with that vehicle, I didn't care. I didn't
my problem
mind
with
that.
it was that like I never knew if there was more to do on the planet. I didn't get past like the first planet because I was there so long trying to figure out if I missed anything important because I didn't get any indicators to say that I need to leave now. I had no idea if I actually did the quest line that I was supposed to do there or if I was only doing side quests.
Is that Mass Effect 1 or is that Andromeda?
Andromeda.
Andromeda had an indicator, bro. I almost guarantee it did.
I never got it. Like
That
I never
might have just been a bug. Honestly, might have just been a gameplay bug because I never once. So like there were times to where like you were doing an objective and the objective's done, but you don't like leave immediately. You know, you can go around and do stuff. Like there was always the notification done of like, hey, you go to this next thing now.
Well, it just felt
Wait,
like I was
so-
on that planet for fucking ever.
For the amount of
And I never left.
exploration, for the amount of exploration that you could do in Andromeda, I will kind of add to your point a little bit into saying that it wasn't filled enough. It definitely wasn't filled enough with the amount of exploration as far as like actual distance you could travel. I didn't think there was enough in there. But not only that, a cheerful bit of news in game development though, something that I'm very, very excited for is Ghost of Tsushima co-op is coming out, and it's coming out next week, I believe, and I'm super excited for it.
I wonder who you'll
I'm
play with.
Super excited with it. Torn.
Yeah. I figured as
Unless
much.
if either of you have it, I will play with you too. I think it's 4-player co-op, so like we can all play.
I don't have any games. I'm sitting here literally as you're talking about this, I'm thinking about all the games in my inventory that I'm like, I own this, but haven't even touched it yet. Like, don't know if I need to buy new games.
Soy has that kind of inventory in his Steam library as well, and I'm just like, why, dude?
Like, even just
I
sitting
got
on
all
my
these
desk.
I got all these on like bundles and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, dude, what's the fucking point?
Like,
don't
even
get it.
just sitting on my desk, I have these 2 games, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Dark Souls 3, that I've never played. But they're
Dude,
literally
you
just
need to
right
play
here.
Kingdom Hearts 3. When stream is over, you need to install it to your system.
But I want Minecraft or Magic
Fuck
the Gathering.
Minecraft. If you don't play, it's a you know what? I actually this is like a hardline stance. If you don't play Kingdom Hearts 3, and I need proof that you've played it, you don't even have to beat it. You don't even have to play it again after this ultimatum. Okay. I'll be fair in this regard, but I'll shut the Minecraft server down if you don't play it sometime this week.
Motherfucker, you're messing with more than just him.
I'll do it.
That's true.
There are several people on this server now. Actively
go-
on the server.
Stephen is all that stands between you and total annihilation, so you better.
See, I need to figure this out then. The one reason why I haven't gotten really into playing any of these other games.
Stressed out
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, like
I have
don't
not
know what
put
it is.
this much time into a Minecraft game in fucking forever. I have a fucking castle. I don't want to lose my castle.
I'll tell you what. I'll add one stipulation to this.
he'll just kick me out of it. That's
Okay.
all.
I'll add. I'm just kidding. I don't. Yeah. You really should though, man. You really should. It's a lot of fun. I haven't, admittedly, I haven't beat it yet because I got distracted with a whole bunch of other things. But it's
extra shit.
it's so much fun, dude. And
I
plus
mean-
the DLC is out now, which I need to get.
I mean,
Tell me how it
that's
is.
not even it though. Like, I still
I
haven't
still
even
need to beat it. Nice.
like I also
What is
haven't
it?
beaten PS4 Spider-Man. I also
Ooh.
have Red Redemption 2 that I've only done the intro mission on.
Yeah, I haven't beat Red Dead 2 either. Like, I'll be real. On
I
either
have-
fucking platform that I've played it, that I've bought it for, because I bought it for online, but on PC. But funny fucking story.
There's nothing to do online.
Not without friends.
Yeah.
Listen, just when they want to, if someone tells me they want to play it, I will re-download it and play it.
Nah, I'm actually just giving you just shit for shit's sake because
I would ask you guys to play
I
that
don't-
game.
I've
know, you
given
did.
him some shit about this recently.
I
so.
don't much. I'll be honest. I'll be actually dead honest with you about it. It's a cool idea, but I don't much care for multiplayer on it.
It like
It takes way too long to get things to me. It seems like that's just. And who knows? Maybe that's just because like I haven't. I feel like I've given it enough due though to say that.
the problem I have with sorry, you can keep going if you'd like.
Well, I was gonna ask Dev. Is like I would like Dev to dispute me if he thinks that I am incorrect. That it takes, in my opinion, it takes a while to get things, and so thus progress seems just very slow. So if
I'll let Steven's point go first before I answer.
I forgot what my point was.
cool
Sorry.
content hashtag
Yeah.
content Dev.
Twitter caught my attention. There was a cat, and then I.
Oh my god.
Of course. Okay. Though I agree with you on that level in a way,
Okay.
I also think the game is great if your friends will just nut up in RP.
Okay. Yeah, I remember my point now. The problem I had is there's just not enough to do. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, we can RP and have fun. That's how we have fun with Sea of Thieves. That's how we have fun with Sea of Thieves, because it's essentially the same thing. You do the same missions over and over again. You just have different ridiculous journeys while doing it.
So I feel though, to Sea of Thieves credit as far as like objectives go, now granted, this is just me watching gameplay of Sea of Thieves. I have yet to play the first minute of Sea of Thieves in my life. But I've watched so much gameplay.
Would be willing to restart.
Hey. Or we could play Raft with our Sea of Thieves personas.
No, I will not. Fuck Raft.
I don't. Yeah, honestly, Raft is one of these things to where I'm like, you know what? This is cool.
Ask Blue. Blue will play Raft with you.
But he won't do a pirate voice.
If
I won't do
Raft was one of these things where I thought the idea of it was unique, and I appreciate that, but just not my cup of tea.
I could see that. It's a bit slow.
It's
from what I can tell.
tedious as hell.
It's a bit slow. It looks very tedious. It's one of these games that it's like, this might sound a little unfair to it, so again, feel free to dispute. I doubt I'm gonna get much dispute from Dev. That it's a survival game for survival's sake. Like there's not a whole lot else to it.
No, yeah, there's no main point to the game other than being stranded on a raft. And it's all at your own pace that you can explore. Like the antagonist is a shark that only bugs you rarely. Well, not rarely, it bugs you, but the things that it does don't really matter unless it's very early in the game.
Yeah, and that's kind of like, so another survival game that I thoroughly enjoyed that is also like very tedious at its start. Though, but I still really enjoyed just because of the cool factor and the things you could do. Ark.
Okay.
Like I love Ark. To this day, I still love Ark. But it's just, again though, like I understand why a lot of people wouldn't like Ark just because of just how much time you have to put in to it.
I won't play that and Rust.
Rust is worse than Ark, bro.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. But like games
Rust
like that, I just can't do anymore.
I haven't played
dude.
either.
Oh my god, I remember our first mine, Soy's, Torrens, Keith's, our buddy Trav was with us too, and we're all on this multiplayer. We're on this PvP server in Ark. We had a base up. Like we were a non-aggressive tribe. Like we PvP'd very, very rarely. Like it was just, our whole goal was just to survive and just try to build. And not to say that we didn't do the occasional base raid, but that was mostly due to the fact that they had very lax security and it was just easy to do. And they didn't have much anyway, so it's not like they were losing anything anyway. But we spent probably a good 2 weeks, maybe more, putting hours into this game. And we get a base all built up, and some guy on like this high level tame T-Rex just comes in and wrecks our shit. Like, what took weeks for us to establish was destroyed in minutes.
Yep. That's why I want to play Rust. We had this really awesome base, like multi-layered, super secure. We had like, it was called hexagon, or honeycomb designed base.
The only reason I know what this is because I've watched videos on Rust base, so I actually know what you're talking about.
We had a honeycomb, which is pretty secure if you do it right. We did it right. It was secure, but someone on one lonely night entered the server, destroyed all of our doors, worked through the house, got all of our shit, put up new doors, and locked us out. But locked us in. So we were stuck in our base. Our super secure metal base.
That was not yours anymore.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, dude, Rust. See, that's the thing with Ark, at least. I think even on PvP, like, if you're offline, I think there's at least a timer, or at least, I know on PvE, you have to be offline for so many hours, for so many days, before your stuff becomes destroyable. And so, at least with PvE, it prevents offline griefing. But for PvP, I think it was kind of the same. Like, you had a little bit of a timer, but it definitely wasn't near as long. But yeah, that's the thing I always heard about with Rust, as like a lot more than Ark, was like, dude, just every time you just log off, you just get fucking raided. It's like, what's the point?
That's why I don't play those kind of games anymore. Never will. Yeah, we should play an RP sometime, guys.
So D&D.
It's so funny because I have no problem RPing in a D&D session, but just with just other video games, I don't know why, man. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Sea of Thieves is the easiest. I will say that.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it.
Okay.
Like, it's one of the perks of not streaming really anymore is that, you know, I can have time to just do these other goofy things now. Like, I have the potential for it. But I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. What else?
Steven?
I want to.
What?
You have something?
No.
Because you tried to talk a couple times there.
I've got nothing. Nothing important.
Nothing important. None of this past 20 minutes has been important.
Nothing important. We've talked about nothing important today. On this Tuesday.
There's a gnat that keeps flying around, and it keeps going for my nose. I'm gonna fucking kill it.
Dude, I just want one of these movie moments to where you just hit yourself in the face and you end up missing the gnat.
No, that's not how this is going.
That's what I want.
I'm
not saying it's what I'll get, but it's what I want.
I had an annoying moment with a fly last Friday. Because you know how hard it is to take school photography when there's outdoors, when there's a fly buzzing around your built photo booth? Very impossible. It's not, but it's just that I don't know how many times I had to retake a picture because a fly landed on a kid's face or in his hair or was flying around in the frame on the blue screen. Like, it's like, and it's not even something I can control. Bugs.
You're like Mr. White. There's a fly in the...
Dude, there's this... Like, we have to kill this fly.
I felt like that, honestly.
We need to kill this fly.
Like, it was literally... I was taking pictures, and it was literally like you could see a fly, like, right here the whole time, just like... Bzzz. I'm like, I don't want to fly in every yearbook picture. Yeah.
Bugs, after a certain point, that's just when I would just prompt just to take the healing brush and just bip, and just get rid of it.
See, that's the thing is I don't think my photography company's editors do that. It's all like streamlined to the point where if you take the photo just slightly off frame, the kid's yearbook picture will also be slightly out of frame, even though they crop the photo.
Yeah, they
can move it.
They put it through a template program. I guarantee.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not even like you probably just based on that. I'll make the bold assumption that you know more editing than they do.
I would think so at this point.
Just because of how that sounds.
And it's so ridiculous. Like, it's gotten to the point, like, in the past, we had little pieces of paper that had a barcode on it. And we had to keep the papers from each and every child organized exactly how they were taken in the photo session. Because if you didn't, it would mess up the names in the yearbook.
That's what it is. It's a data.
Yeah, nowadays, it's all digital, where you type in the kid's name, you find it, you can take the photo. So you don't have to worry about the organization anymore. However, the problem is if, say, there's like 2 of these computers at one job and they fail to communicate for some reason, it's possible that you'll make a duplicate account of one of the students. And if that happens, there's apparently absolutely no way that our computer service can fix it. Like, they can't go back and remove one of the names. They can't just move a picture over to someone else. It's just physically impossible for them to do this with the editing system that we have. And I'm like, how is that possible?
It's possible because your company used a third party to construct their software, and they do not have access to any kind of edit.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Like, that's exactly how that happened. Like, someone was concerned with speed and not quality.
Yeah, I don't like it,
dude. So my job these days, tell you something a little dumb happened with my job today, and this is minute by comparison to a lot of the stupidity that I have to deal with, but this one just really irked me. So, IT support, I do my job by responding to tickets, and the tickets tell me what the problem is. I can comment on the tickets. The person who sent me the ticket will receive emails when I make comments on it, so they read it as an email instead of me where it's kind of like a program screen. So I had a comment say, hey, new user is starting such and such day, we need a laptop and blah 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 blah, standard request. I'm like, cool, got it, get it done. Is like, when do you want it done? So by October 4th, if doable. And I said, it's very doable, it's not a problem. I had it done in the middle of last week. The only problem is that they were starting at a different facility, which is still within my area. It's like, okay, cool. We'll just ship it over. We prepped it at the main facility, but you're going for the side one, so cool. We'll just do it to the, so it's all there. It's all on the side facility that this person is going to be starting in. And I got an update on the ticket today that said, hi, so and so is here at the main facility to pick up their laptop. Can someone from IT please help them with that? And I'm like, bitch, do you not read emails? Like, it's over at the facility they're actually starting at, where it's supposed to be in the first place. So yeah, nothing major. Like, the only reason I was even made aware of the situation was because someone from our service desk messaged me, and especially like, hey man, and proceeded to fill me in on the situation. And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with these people? I literally told them it's at level 1. And that's what I told this guy. And he gave me the person's cell number, and I called them and I explained the situation. They're like, okay, can I be by tomorrow? I was like, great, yes, no problem. So, okay, I'll be there at 8. Like, cool, that's when we'll be there. I hope. I'm at the other facility, and I work with one other guy this week who's less than reliable, so we'll see.
You're about to get 200 calls from this person who's like, hey, they're not here. I can't find the laptop. What do I do?
Probably. I meant, so I did mean to message the other guy about the whole, he's supposed to be there at 8 anyway. So it's like, theoretically, I shouldn't really be needing to message him. But
theoretically.
Also theoretically, I don't think he comes to work unless he has to when he works at that facility, because he lives real close to it. So we'll see.
All right.
What could go wrong?
Oh, a lot.
I think this world is fundamentally lacking critical thinking
Oh my
and
God.
problem solving and common sense.
What's really
But-
funny about my
And decency.
Well, yeah.
okay, well let's not go too far down the rabbit hole.
All right.
We're into stupidity and logic right now. We'll not get into emotion and morals.
That'll be next week's lesson.
That'll be
Yeah.
next week. Yeah, no, because like you can have fun talking about stupid people and illogical people, but morals and decency, that just gets depressing after a while.
Mhm.
Why?
Like, oh man, I tell people all the time on my job, they're like, I'm sorry, I could never do what you do. I'm like, yeah, you could. It's like, no, I don't think I could. I was like, I Google 80% of the shit I have trouble with. You could. The only reason why I have such good job security is no one's willing to. No one's willing to deal with this.
My dad kind of told me the same thing. He's like, I don't actually know everything about computers, but you know what I do know how to do? Read a
Google.
product manual.
Read product manuals, man.
Yeah.
Fucking read the directions, read documentation. That is gold. That
All you need to do is
solid
read,
gold,
and then you can figure it out.
man.
Read
I
and
don't wanna do
research. Your
This
two
other guy
Rs.
don't even.
I probably could have saved myself a couple grand if I had just done my own car repair.
Probably,
Yeah, no.
you know,
Yeah.
but auto mechanics. That's honestly.
Yeah,
That's one of these things where I am just super uncomfortable with. It's not that I don't think I could do the job. It's just that the confidence level is just not there.
It's not what your know-how is.
Yeah, and like, could I do it if I absolutely had to? Yeah, sure. If I was like absolutely broke and like that was just like my only option, then yeah, you know, because you do what you got to freaking do. But so long as I got the money, I'm gonna pay a guy whose job it is to do it.
Well, the other thing too is that's what they get paid to do. Like, so you're
Yeah,
giving them
man,
job
that's-
security too.
I'm about to say, like, this was your career choice. I will reward it. Please change my oil.
Well, it's like there's
Yeah.
certain things I know how to do. Like I can replace a radiator.
I've had to do that before too. Oh,
I've had to replace brakes before.
I've
That's
Like-
not a fun job.
Doesn't sound
There-
fun.
It's
small
not.
things like that I don't really mind. It's like changing brakes, I've done it before. It's not fun, but I've done it. Changing my own oil, I've done it. I don't like doing it, but I've done it. But
Yeah,
I've
changing
even
oils.
changed like the starter in my car before because the starter was bad and it wouldn't turn over the engine. So I've done that stuff. But like this last thing that I did, it was just a basic like so many mile checkup and general like fix type thing. And I'm not going to do that myself because I don't know what a car should look like on the inside. I'm just going to be like, here, make sure it looks fine, please, so I don't have to ever come back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting bit back on the gaming news. Baldur's Gate 3 early access is out, apparently.
I need to play Baldur's Gate only because it's D&D related. Yay for Wizards of the Coast.
Well, it's apparently, you know, it apparently has a lot of similarities with the Divinity Original Sin, with which I've seen the first one and I've played some of the second one. But like that's another one of those games where it's just like, dude, I have several games in my inventory that I am going to beat before I permit myself to buy another one. Like, this is the point in my video. This is the point where I'm at. Like, I need to beat some of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
I can agree with that. I have games I want to beat. I have games I just want to play more.
I just wanted to be a streamer. It's just hard to do that when you're living in other people's house.
Dude, trust me, it's hard when you get your own place too.
I don't know. I'm doing all right. I
Well,
talked about
yeah.
that. Like my month has been nuts.
Your month
Yeah.
has been nuts, man.
I've had a good one. Pretty good. I enjoyed. I've been enjoying watching your streams and editing them again and the ridiculousness that goes along with it.
It's been pretty crazy this month.
Oh,
It's kind of funny though. like on the outside looking in at your life, I've seen your emotions change, because when you first moved into this house, you're like, yeah, I got my own place, I could be my own person. And then about a month or two later, you're like,
Who
I
am
have
I?
no one to talk to at home.
Well,
Who
that was
am
because I
I?
couldn't go out.
Yeah.
Because I moved
And
right when
now-
COVID happened.
Mhm.
And like my circle went from work and you guys.
Mhm.
And I love you guys. But I also need other interaction. And I love online interaction. I still need actual interaction. Like, not having human interaction where I'm not a worker is so fucking hard.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Fuck you.
No, he's Devin's saying fuck you to me because of what I put in chat.
Um,
Oh,
Chat,
I love
please
those kind of
click the
pictures.
link and enjoy it. It was so great. It was wonderful.
okay.
I was so
Anyways.
happy I was able to catch that.
Anyways, back on Tarkman.
Why?
No, I've been having a fucking. I know, I've been having a blast streaming though. Like, this has been great for me. I've actually found my little my jive, I guess. Downside has been this last like couple days. I've been a little bit downer, but also it's because it's been 2 years since the Vegas stuff really happened, and I got out of the hospital down over there. So it's like kind of one of those like remembrance kind of things. It's like, man, that's where I was 2 years ago, and I'm greatly happy where I am now. But there is that part of my brain where suddenly it's like, you've been single for like over a year again. Tisk.
Like,
Not a problem, but it's just one of those like those
well,
dwelling thoughts that your brain sometimes
yeah,
goes back to.
and yeah, no, and trust me, dude, I get it. Like, I 100%
All
get
right,
it.
married. I'm joking, but
Hey, listen. So the shit leading up to us like finally dating, like was a lot of my mental stuff was like doing that to me too, and then me and her started talking again, and the distance didn't much matter anymore. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's try it. Then 2 and some odd years later.
here we are.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. Crap happens for a reason.
Oh yeah, no, 100%, and that's exactly where my thought is. I'm like, I'm happy where I am now. Like, genuinely, I've gotten to a point where I'm happy again.
That's the important bit. Like, this is now the time. Like, if you are like genuinely like happy, like genuinely, this is now the time to look into maybe remedying that other problem.
No,
because
not even close.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Because, well, here's the thing. It's like a lot of people like look for it because they're unhappy, and it's like, I feel that this creates more problems than it actually solves. But if you got some solid footing, I'm not saying fully commit to anything yet, but it wouldn't hurt to look around.
Well, dating in this is impossible.
You window shop first. You can, probably even literally, but who knows?
Also, dating for me is difficult.
So it is for anybody. Though dating in this, I understand like that.
Dating for me and dating in this is difficult. Me
and Star have had this conversation multiple times during quarantine. It was like, I'm so happy I don't have to date in this. I'm like, me too. Like, oh my god, that would be terrible.
Trying to date, really. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd like to date people, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, hey, you want to go? Like, that's just not who I am, and it probably should be, because I'm not about to meet somebody in my daily life at work or at home to date. But
Never know.
just seems like, I mean, I'm 100% gonna throw out work as an option. Seeing
No,
as I
yeah,
work
work
at
needs to
school.
be out of the option.
Uh,
Unless you mean
and,
a teacher, then it's like, sup,
I mean,
teach?
there are some pretty attractive teachers out there. I'll be honest.
Let's say, yeah.
You don't have to say. I'm gonna be honest, because I mean, yeah, there's some attractive teachers.
But I also
Such a
don't.
bizarre conversation, though.
Yeah, it's just but I've also heard conversations about dating right now, where like people are saying they're doing like Tinder hookups and they're banging on their back patio to be safe, and like
What crazy
only
times we live in.
Mhm.
Hey, I mean, hikes are probably really good for dates.
Yeah, probably.
I did go on a hike date once during all of this, but like, yeah,
Clearly,
it worked out great.
really.
No,
Yeah, it's okay. That's what I thought.
it was also very.
I was gonna give you a benefit of the doubt.
Babe, come on it.
Yeah.
Dude, that
Would be a play. Man,
that would be a play.
could you imagine?
That would be.
Couldn't it be
that
me?
Would be a play.
Babe, come on it.
Like,
And then
I'll admit, like that would. I feel that would partly be a shitty play, but that
I
would
didn't
that
say
would be
anything
funny.
at all.
That would,
But it would
yeah,
be
if you-
something I would do for a comedic bit to surprise you fuckers. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it's something that I could very see you do. We would all have a laugh out of it. However, I feel that at some time down the road, hindsight would kick in. And it's like, probably not the best way to do that, but
I mean,
and don't get me wrong, I honestly can't put to words why it would be a bad idea. It's just a part of me thinks it would be.
depends. Well, the other thing too is like how I've thought about it as well is like dating for me would be difficult is because like I've talked to people and like they've brought up like I don't know how you would put like Twitch above dating. And for me, part of it is that like this is my outlet. I've got work that I have like 40 hours, and I've got this which I've the last month. Hold on, let me pull up my channel analytics real quick. So I can check
Honestly,
how many hours I streamed last 30.
Well, what's really silly about it is, how could you put Twitch above dating, or really honestly, how could you put Twitch above insert here? Like prime example, since I've quit streaming on my channel for the past couple weeks, mine and Tiffany's like quality time hasn't dramatically increased. Because we know that about each other, that we still like just doing our own thing every so often, and that's fine. Like I've been doing a lot of my photo edits,
105 hours, by the way.
Or maybe I'm just goofing off. What?
105 hours last 30 days.
Damn. But
and a lot to edit.
and she does her podcast stuff with her edits or whatever. But it also has freed up my schedule to where it's like, hey, if I want to do something on a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, I could. So again, it's circumstances are different for everybody. Like people always try to look for this copy paste freaking answer, and people like going back to what you just said is I can't believe you put Twitch above dating.
Again, they weren't directing that at me. Answer. They were directing that at other people, by the way.
But still, it doesn't matter who they're directing it at. It's this copy paste bullshit that because their priorities and their circumstances are this way, they would automatically assume it should apply to the other person.
No, yeah, but at the same time, I kind of understand it because also at the same time, it's not silly, but it is kind of unusual that someone would put this over that, because most people put relationship high up on the list. I've been in relationships and I know how those work. I honestly, how I've thought about it is, honest truth, I probably need to date someone who's in this in the sphere of some sort, who gets it, because they'd be like, no, I get it. This is a passion of yours. This is what you want to do and stuff. So I
was about to say, I mean, really honestly, so that's a I don't want to say shortcut. That's a safe bet approach when you're looking for someone in this sphere that does it.
Well, I don't even necessarily
also-
does it, but gets it or is in gaming or in entertainment and stuff like that.
Star is none of those.
I know.
Like, you know, she does her own content creation and stuff to the degree, which is why she understands like mine so much. But even back before she was doing it, she knew it was something that I enjoyed, and it was just that simple. That it was something that she respected and even supported and encouraged. Because the first time since we moved here that I was like, I need to not anymore because it's getting in the way of time spent with people. Like, it was her idea that I come back to it, because otherwise I don't think I really would have. But
I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I'm not necessarily, like, for me. I guess it's just like the other thing too is, I don't know. For me, it's that like I'm not gonna meet someone here necessarily that's gonna get my shit, because there's a lot of shit. This podcast has had, by the way, so many different topics today.
No, yeah, we've gone everywhere.
There is no through form.
we've literally there is no script.
Nope. Zero. If anyone claims that we've ever had a script for this show, how?
The closest thing we've ever come to a script would be the plan, and it never happened in the same kind of section of it either. But the closest thing we ever had was the wacky news story. That's the closest thing we've ever had to a script, and that was because that was one thing that is like pre-planned before the show started. Sometimes minutes before, but still.
Yeah, not really happening much
That's
anymore.
it. Yeah.
Because wacky news doesn't feel like it works right now.
God. Any wacky news these days that makes the news just pisses me off mostly.
Yeah.
Because it's wacky, you know, definitely would earn a spot, but at the same time, it's like,
But no, it's just like dating's just weird, dude. Like, especially in this time, like, before I could have probably easily gone on a date within the last, I would have at least probably had 2 to 3 dates if I was still single during this last 6 months. It's been 6 months. 6 months. Because
hang on, I'm gonna need you to rewind that.
What? That I would have had
If
2 to
you
3
were
dates?
No. That just slightly
like,
before
if I
that.
would, like, I'm saying the hypothetical that if I dated during this time and ended up in a relationship, if it wasn't COVID times, maybe I would be in a relationship right now. That's what I mean.
Cool.
If I was still single, kind of thing. I'm
But
talking
you
about
are
the
single.
hypothetical. Yes, I'm talking about the
Okay.
hypothetical situation.
The wording that you're choosing was throwing me off. I'm sorry. It's just. Listen, we just talked about the hypothetical comedy bit where you're not telling us, and I thought, wait, maybe I caught him up in it. Maybe I caught him up in it. Like, that's the whole reason I even stopped you. Was because, like, hang on, time out. Like, wait a minute.
Could you imagine?
Scary
if
part
he
is someone
had-
actually walked in because I didn't plan that.
No, yeah,
I
I'm
would-
just sitting here looking at your background.
I'm looking at this doorway in the back. I'm like,
Yeah,
wait.
I'm just imagining if there actually was somebody for Dev to introduce, and they're just sitting in that dark room for an hour and a half, just waiting for Dev to be like, "Come on in, babe." It's just,
dude, that's a scary kind of commitment. That's a red flag kind of commitment. We're just gonna throw that out there.
I
Don't make
commit
this
to
poor
a bit
person
like that.
wait for
Listen.
an hour and a half. Don't do it.
I've probably committed to a bit that long, though. Let's be real. This show still exists.
and now on Tuesdays.
Shut up. But no, like in the hypothetical, I probably would have been on 2 to 3 dates if I didn't end up in a relationship during that time, and was still single at this point in the non-COVID universe.
Yeah.
In the non-C19 universe,
Yeah, let's go there. That sounds like fun.
like probably would have been on 2 to 3 dates in the last 6 months. Because I'm far more charismatic texting than I am in person. Because let's be real, with anxiety and stuff like that, sometimes don't speak so good. With anxiety, stuttering, occasional lisp, ADD.
Which I don't hear as much, like the lisp.
But it comes out with certain words. Like W's for some reason have killed me recently. Like career wheel thing that I talked about that one podcast.
Wheel?
Fuck off. But I've had that issue recently where I say something and it goes woo. Like it just goes
Woo?
It kind of does. It kind of goes woo.
Listen, Steven, shut up. I'm not trying to give shit here, but I do want an example. Can you, what's one that
I can't remember what it was. Like I tried to say I tried to say something recently and it just came out wrong. Like it just that's what I said. I can't remember the words because I'll catch myself afterwards and fix it and it doesn't happen the rest of the night. But there are certain moments where it's just like my mouth just doesn't form the way it should to say the word correctly, because it also goes with, I talked about it, that I used to have an underbite, or now that I have an underbite now, I used to have an overbite because of my wisdom teeth. So like my mouth doesn't always do what it should do because it's not what it was originally growing up learning how to talk. So like mistakes happen. So on top of that, with the ADD, the anxiety, the stuttering, which I've gotten way better than I used to, but like how I stop myself from stuttering is I say a lot, which pisses me off because I'm like, I sound like an idiot who never knows what he's gonna say. Because I say like and this a lot. Like I say those words to stop the sentence from me tripping over myself. Because Stephen probably knows and remembers me in high school. I used to stutter a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad. There were times where like everyone would go, today, Junior, which is something I got a lot in high school.
That's shitty.
Right, we had some awful friends.
Clearly.
Darn band kids.
Well, I mean, at the same time, like I get it because it's just like I can't help but do it to myself nowadays. Or when I'm falling into a stutter, it's like that's all, folks, kind of thing. Is what I'll say next. But like, I don't know. It's just like all of that while trying to have a conversation in person with someone you don't know on any level yet is impossible. Which is why I prefer talking online first. Because I don't know any unless it's like through a group. I will say that too, because I'm really bad at meeting people on my own. I have to meet people through groups, like conventions and stuff like that. Is how I've met a lot of people. Because you have a conversation, started with someone you know, and someone else who you don't know is also part of that conversation. You end up learning about each other and having a conversation that way. That's the only other way I could do it in person. That's not really dating, that's getting to know someone and then being like, I'm interested in you. Which I'm also horrible at saying. So, in turn, I'm just going to keep trying to use online dating. It's impossible during these times, but fuck it. Take it from me, kids. Dating sucks.
So I'm going to change subjects real fast.
Got it?
Okay.
Cool.
I have this question that I'm staring at here. And it's asking me, is there anything about me that I like to share about myself or my experience or skills when it comes to video editing for gameplay footage? I always hate these kind of questions because I'm always so humble and never like to brag about how amazing I am. So I never know what to say during these kind of segments. What do you guys know? It's essentially asking in an interview, the interviewer is like, hey, is there any other information you want to give about yourself? I never know how to answer those questions because I don't know what else I want to brag about. I'm not I never know what to say.
Our generation wasn't taught to brag.
So like,
which is funny because early on that's true, but then later on it's like you need to sell yourself in the interview. I'm like, fucking pick one.
and then there's those people who are like, so why did you choose this job? Because you're hiring. Well, what drove you to this company? Money.
The pay.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah.
You'll hire
But-
me?
Yeah. Right now, I'm filling out an application for a game video editor for a famous YouTuber. He's hiring for a video game editor. Why not throw my hat in the ring?
You can use my videos as proof.
I am. That's
in,
Oh,
like,
fuck. If I need a new editor soon, fuck.
hey, Dev.
You want the middle? I'm just kidding. You could be the rebound. Here.
I could be the rebound.
Yeah. So, I'm just
Steven
staring
sends you all the assets. All right, good luck.
Have fun.
Later. Good luck going through that 11-hour stream, sucker.
Yeah. Dude, the 105 hours.
You and me, you need to slow it down there, bud.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Why? I'm having fun.
Well, I don't know. Just maybe at some point, just hit that button that says stop fucking streaming. Doesn't mean you have to stop playing the game and quit having fun. Just
Why would I stop? Like, I'm having a blast, and like some of those streams have been some of my best. Like that 11-hour, I average 8.
11 hours though. It's been a long time since I've put in a stint like that. A long time.
I don't know. I'm just having fun doing it, so I'm just gonna keep going late, dude. Like, I'm just gonna go.
I mean,
I'm gonna run with it.
have at it, but at some point you need to start bookmarking or timestamping your stuff. It's like, hey, this is really funny. I should timestamp this for my editor so he doesn't fucking hate his life.
That would be not like he does that. That happens on occasion.
It's
where
just really
every
tough
once
to
in a-
know what is gonna be considered funny. I will say that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I was literally just looking at the analytics for your channel here, and I got kind of depressed because only one of the videos that I have made is in your top 10 most viewed. Everything else is videos that you made before me.
Well, and those, I think those the reason why those have such high views is because they've been there longer.
So I'm just sitting there like, I put all
No,
this
one of
work into
your
this,
video,
and-
you have like my highest viewed video.
one of them, yes.
No, that's my
But
highest.
everything- Yeah, the highest viewed video is Sea of Thieves something. And then everything else for like the next 9 is your videos, and then
Well, it's because
then it
that's
gets
all I
to my
had
stuff.
for a while.
So
It's just, it's because it's there longer, and for those videos, it was easier to push them because I haven't figured out a way to. I'm trying to figure out how I would, like, honestly, if you're up for it, I'd love it if you would be able to send me just like a 30-second clip from the video that I could use for Twitter and or Instagram.
I mean, I can. Or you could watch the video beforehand and record on OBS the segment that you like and then publish that video.
But then I'm going to
It's,
lose quality.
No, you're not
Oh,
right.
well, it
It's-
actually will not.
It's like
If
the
you
slightest amount of.
if you not if
Not
you're
really.
watching I mean, if you're still watching it, well, like if you're watching the preview within the editing software, then yeah. But if you like fully render out like a video file and then record yourself and then record OBS on OBS while watching it, no, it's very, very minute.
Also, it doesn't help some of those videos go live, like get edited at like 1, 2 in the morning, and I work at the next day until the next one is when it goes live. So I don't have time to go grab the video.
That happens sometimes because, I work too.
I know, and I tell you, you don't have to worry about editing it if you're
Yeah.
gonna stay up late. And then your ass is over here like, oh, don't worry about it. I'm gonna stay up till 2 to finish this. I'm like, okay.
So till 2.
It's been worse nights.
I mean, same, but that doesn't mean it's a good fucking idea.
There was one time I remember I was really tired. I was sitting here. It was maybe 1 a.m. On a Thursday. Oh, it was Friday morning now. And I was like, fuck, I forgot to edit for Dev. All right, time to download and start editing.
You know what I said the next day when he came on the podcast before show? He was like, man, I stayed up all night editing for him. I'm like, why? Just let a video be late. It's
I did
not
that last week.
You did. Was it better for you?
It was about the same, honestly.
Why did you stay up late? Did you stay up late those days playing Minecraft?
Probably.
You totally did. I think I actually remember this particular stint. Like, because this was during this time.
Because that doesn't negate not doing anything, doing the video.
Yeah, no, because he hadn't gone back to work yet. I don't think. And he's like, dude, I've been just staying up like so super late. And I originally thought it was because it was editing for you. Then I realized, no, wait, I'm staying up kind of late every so often, and I'm still seeing him online in Minecraft. Like, that is what was happening.
You try building a Coliseum.
No. No, especially not in survival. Fuck that.
Man, that was so fun. And I'm at a point where I can step away from it because I'm happy at what it's at, but there's still so much I need to do with it. So much. Like, I want to put in automatic piston doors. I found out that you can't move.
Should I start a creative realm for you? Okay.
Oh, this is fine.
Just figured I'd ask.
It's part of the fun, honestly, is the survival aspect.
All right.
You have no idea how, like, it's tedious but amazingly fun.
I've had some ideas for like arena style stuff in Minecraft for like our videos that we had talked about a while back.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll be honest with you, I'm just not motivated to like build them. Like, I'll be real, because I know what they'll involve, and it's just yeah.
Like, I have a map that I have started for us, but I haven't done anything with it ever since we started our server. But I literally wanted to build like essentially a death map, a race parkour type thing, where you run up a skyscraper and each level of the skyscraper has a different thing, and it was going to be called HarHar headquarters.
I remember you showing me that map.
Well, yeah, that was the start of the idea, but that wasn't gonna be the things or anything. I actually made another map where I made an even bigger motel, and haven't done anything with it since building the frame.
I have too many time-consuming projects on my plate right now to go back into. So that one of those side projects was the photo I showed you all earlier. Like, I'm still like, I had to close it because I had Photoshop open for about the first hour of this, and I had to close it because I kept fucking glancing at it. It's like, stop, you're not. This isn't helping. Speaking of first hour, we've been here for an hour and 42 minutes, boys.
We have.
Not bad, not bad.
Like,
I guess we could call it quits if we really wanted to.
All right, and with that, everybody,
I guess we want to. All right.
thank you all for hanging out.
Talk about random things.
We'll see you guys next week at this time on this day,
which is Tuesday.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Bye.
Who can call us a bad channel?